so special.
I'm telling y'all, in this faith, the only thing that you can do is try. You gotta apply these laws, statutes, and commandments. The faith of the Most High, Yahweh. Some of my I'm telling you, I tried. A mouth is hard to contain, the face to point the blame. I got a 9 iron, I'll plug you, welcome to the range. Dry bones, hunger pains, pestilence and hurricanes. Niggas wanna entertain, the blind can't ascertain. The war's for your brain, wanna suit up, then come see me. Read John 8 and 32 and maybe we can be free. No hookups or freebies, Israelite rules on GP. Making the heathen flee, living the word is my destiny. I might get foul, throw the towel, where's the referee? Friends connect my Hennessy, you gassed off jealousy. Feminine tendencies, love affair with enmity. These kites want our legacy and lie about equity. Rebel like the Maccabees, worldwide catastrophes. Pray when we face the east, the 7 crowns on the beast. Let my dogs of the least hit the word in the streets. I'm Mayweather with the word, all wins, no defeats. I try to stand tall from pillar to post, but I swear these things be doing the most. I try to keep it real when everything's fake. Never fold, never break, I'll be a stand-up Jake. I try to avoid these stumbling blocks like potholes and scanning you niggas like barcodes. I try to keep it real when everything's fake. Never fold, never break, I'll be a stand-up Jake. As good as it gets, the Lord said it best. Yours is delayed and mine is expressed. My spirit is vexed. Hit the left hand Van Ness, keep the law for success. I heard the word about Kemet and I wasn't impressed. Nevertheless, I keep my sword sharp. He loves playing in the dark. Greatest of the art. Paris and Forest get torn apart. Why you wanna start a game that you can't win? A bunch of jokers, charlatans, and Harley Quinns. Melanated skin, holding the upper hand. You rustle on the motherland, gird with the bands. Do as the Lord commands, and it's like the sands. 144 grand is how we seal the deal. It's no swine with the meal, elected like you're ill. Israel, how it feels, time to break the spell. Shouts to UZL, from the depths of hell. I'm doing life with Christ and I don't need no bail. I try to stand tall from pillar to post, but I swear these things be doing the most. I try to keep it real when everything's fake. Never fold, never break, I'll be a stand-up Jake. I try to avoid these stumbling blocks like potholes and scanning you niggas like barcodes. I try to keep it real when everything's fake. Never fold, never break, I'll be a stand-up Jake. I try to keep it real, but everything's fake. Never fold, never break. I'll be a stand-up Jake. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh. Greetings, welcome, Shabbat Shalom to the family, man. 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth. This is your brother Ahmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. How's everybody doing today, man? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Locking in for another DSTM episode. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. You know where we're going today. You got your man Trump found guilty, 34 counts, all felonies. How's he going to escape this one? I mean, if he was a so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, he'd be buried under the jail with 34 felonies. You got Biden, man, green lighting U.S. armaments to bomb Russia. What does that spell as far as World War III is concerned? For the naysayers, for the doubters, for the ones who lost faith, man, and decided to slip off a cliff and fall off. What's that say to them? We're inching closer and closer towards you know what, right? Which is all glorious for us because we're, trying to compound on all of these prophecies and judgments, leaning towards our salvation. The everlasting kingdom that was promised to the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, man. So I bid you shalom, peace to the brothers and sisters that's in the house, man. The usual fam as usual. And to those that haven't been able to tune in live as of yet, shalom to y'all. And anybody's going to be watching this after the fact. Shabbat shalom to y'all or just shalom if you ain't watching it on the Shabbat. But salute to Bayan Shakal and your household, man. Shalom to y'all, man. UZL Malachi, brothers up in the Northwest. Shalom to y'all.
The house of Byron, the faithful house of Byron over there. Shalom to you and yours. Shalak in the house. Shalom, Rosemarie. Shabbat shalom to you, my sister. Ashar, shalom to you. There he goes. Kohath in the house, as usual. Shalom to you. Yerah in the house. Shalom, shalom. The Quab, shalom. Karatazah. The Amawah, Shaq and the fam. Shalom to y'all. Hopefully y'all are well. Sister Catherine in the house. Shalom to you. Aladad in the house. Elder Rasaf in the house. We on. We on. Ready to go. Ready to go. Let me give y'all a heads up now. You're gonna get tired of seeing my face today. I'm doing a double duty today. Double duty today. DSTM right now. And then I'm gonna double back and finish up that Daniel chapter 7 for our closing Shabbat class. Don't want to miss that. We got the rest of the chapter to complete, detailed breakdown of Daniel chapter 7. If you did not get a chance to check the first part on Monday evening, make sure you go back and double back on it if you're still seeking understanding on it. Many of us um, and many of y'all have gotten the understanding, or may have gotten some of the gaps filled in. If you haven't, make sure you double back with us. All right. From Egypt to Israel, Shalom. All right. Yahweh Shem Yishael Barakatah. Let's get to it, man. We ain't gonna, go too much more onto this. Let me set up this PowerPoint. It's time to get busy. It is time to get busy. You know what? Before we begin with this PowerPoint, let me share my screen, because apparently it didn't look like it was sharing right. All right, that's good. I want to read from the book of Habakkuk, as some may call it. However you pronounce it, it's all good. But this is just something that hit my spirit last night. I was doing some reading. I was reading into Habakkuk and Habakkuk, and I wanted to share this with brothers and sisters too. Just kind of seeing the plight that Habakkuk was experiencing in Babylon, and it's very similar to what we're going through right now. As the children of the Lord, man, seeking judgment, seeking righteousness to come on the earth, watching and seeing all the wickedness that is prevailing on the earth, man, seeing how the so-called white man is dominating everything with no accountability. Habakkuk was acknowledging this was something that he was witnessing and understanding as in ancient Babylon, and everything is reflective, nothing new under the sun. Here we are in Babylon now, modern day Babylon, and experiencing many of the same. Let's look at this. So Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 1, it says, the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. So Habakkuk seeing the burdensome prophecies of what was befalling the wicked kingdom that he was and our people was in bondage to. Same way now, we sit back and we watching and seeing the so-called white man now operating under being the new Babylon, exhibiting the same characteristics of old. Verse 2, it says, "O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save." So Habakkuk is seeing and understanding the violence that was happening to our people. The gates being burned down, being overran and trodden down, being put into bondage. We're seeing much of the same here. We're seeing the oppression of our people here in modern day Babylon, from the police brutality to the unjust laws, to the hangings, the lynchings, the burnings, being shot down in the streets, mob riots of our people during the civil rights era being completely destroyed. Freudian slip, but even looking at the Civil War, after the Civil War, our people getting thrown into the first concentration camp in Natchez, Mississippi, where our people's bones are still being desecrated and destroyed down there, right? I talked about the Daniel lesson regarding the graves, the Florida graves that's been built over, our legacies being completely destroyed. See, and speaking of, I'm not going to go there right now, but y'all know in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, was talking about the salvation and the strangeness of which is going to happen to our people. And it said, this is he whose life we counted as madness. and his life to be without honor. And that's what they did to our people, man. When they, desecrated the graves of those brothers and sisters down there in Florida and many other places where whole cities and towns were destroyed, man. The memory and the legacy of some of our people who were destroyed and killed, never to be forgotten. I mean, never to be remembered. Don't even know who they were. Becca seeing all this, he said, man, how long is he going to cry? And the Most High not here, because it seems as though, and that's where a lot of our people lose faith, whether they're in the truth or not, when they're following after religious dogma, or when they're just ignorant out there in the streets, gang banging, hustling, doing whatever, and their best friend gets killed, their mama gets shot, the baby gets hit with a stray, and they saying there ain't no God because I cried to him to save her or save him, and he didn't do it. There's a reason why the Most High didn't do it. Because our people haven't subjected ourselves to true humility under the law, statutes, and commandments. True repentance hasn't happened. So Habakkuk was saying, how long is he going to cry out of all the violence that's going on, all the atrocities, all the oppressions, all of the murders and the rapes and so forth and so on? How long is this going to go on and the Most High is not going to save? Verse 3, why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? See, we're constantly subject to the visual oppressions, man, of our people all the time, especially now with the cameras out. Everybody's filming what's going on. So we're catching the crimes against our people being committed by the police on video. The internet now has become such a vast spectrum to where the information and the histories and the violences and the things that's happened before our people is clearly visual. It said, how long are we going to be seeing this iniquity? How long are we going to see us being ruled over by people who's sworn themselves to iniquity, violence, wickedness, lies, hypocrisies? How long are we going to have to keep going through and seeing this? I mean, how much more visual trauma can our people take? Now our people are always now subscribing to mental health crises, dealing with PTSD, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety. You dig what I'm saying? Like, we're now being beholden to all of our curses, and we're going to a damn shrink trying to sort out our issues. Or why do we got single parent homes? How come my mama got strung out on drugs? Why am I constantly at war with my brothers out here in the streets? It's all in the Bible. But Habakkuk was saying that how long are we going to be shown and keep seeing these things and hold ourselves to the grievances that our people are constantly doing? We're grieving. We need reparations. Oh, we need fair housing. Oh, we need to get these migrants out of here. We need more money. They're getting the money in the grant. I mean, there's constant grievances going on. It says, for the spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Verse 4, therefore the law is slack and judgment doth never go forth. See, when there's no judgment, the judgment comes through the laws. Because the so-called white man is not going to be balancing out and giving us fair judgment and righteousness. Psalms 94 says, how long shall we have fellowship with the throne of iniquity? The law is clearly slack. They're letting the alphabet people run around here and rule everything, and from the school system all the way down to the military. The head of the one of y'all gonna know. Put it in the chat if you remember. The head of the health and what is it? Health and damn. This dude's the head of the damn. What is position? Surgeon, not the Surgeon General. Yeah, Health Secretary. Look, here you go. Rachel Levine. And with that name right here, they had GMO Small Hat, who's gone against everything that he was supposedly raised upon to know what's not okay. See, we're subject to this. Rachel Levine, the one who's going to tell you about health, mental health, physical health, so forth and so on. American professor of pediatrics, specializing in children, okay, and psychiatry. So they're running a whole psyop, man, putting this individual into office to run all pediatrics and psychiatric, evaluation, governmental standards. And that's why Habakkuk is like, how long do I got to witness this stuff, man? The law is slack. They're allowing the kids. I mean, I just seen video brother sent me yesterday down in Texas. Quanell X and some other sister from the new Black Panther Party was out there talking about a former teacher at an elementary school who was filming X-rated videos of herself in the public bathroom of the elementary school. I'm sure some of y'all seen that. Quanell X talking about all you can see is cellulite and pubic hair as she's gyrating around in the bathroom. But that's light compared to them being predators, committing acts of pedophilia from the schools to the churches to the Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts had to pay out $1 billion. And this is supposed to be a safe space for your kids to come up and learn about, brotherhood and survival and all this other stuff. I mean, come on. The law is completely slack. And the laws of the Most High did not go forth. So there's no righteous judgment. It says, for the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgments proceeded. So who's leading the charge? I don't have to tell you. You can see it. You going outside. You're witnessing that on TV. You're watching it on X. You're watching it on Instagram. You're watching it on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. TikTok. You're seeing it on YouTube. There are people getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views of just filming and watching and reporting on how much the wicked compass the righteous, and us shaking our heads saying, this is ridiculous. Continuing on, it says, behold, ye among the heathen. Well, who is among the heathen? Who's this being addressed to? Let me open it one more. Y'all know where we're going with this. Ye among the heathen. See, and this was another precept that just popped in my head too on Habakkuk 1, when it says, oh Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear, even cry out unto thee of violence, thou wilt not say? See, David, he's saying the same thing. Oh Yahweh, power, to whom vengeance belongeth, oh power. To whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself, lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? These are the type of prayers that we have to incorporate into our daily prayer, right? Because that's what Habakkuk was saying. He was saying, man, the Lord's not hearing our cries, but maybe, we got to kind of recenter in some of the things we're crying for. You might be crying for a job. You might be crying for some money to get your bills paid. You might be crying to make sure, that your son or your daughter turns around and they come into the truth. That might be all good. However, don't forget that we're being ruled over by a wicked people, a wicked nation who is triumphant over us, and we need them out of the way. They got to go, right? So we got to make sure that we're keeping those things incorporated in our prayer. Tobit, the 13th chapter, and we're going to read 1 down to 3, because it said in Habakkuk, behold ye among the heathen. So this is who is to behold this. This is who's to understand this. Tobit 1:1. It says, then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be the Most High that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. We ain't blessed in his kingdom, man. Our people are sitting out here. I've seen Negroes out here, man, at that damn Trump rally, slobbing on it. Let me keep it clean, because YouTube is already acting a fool over here again. But people got their noses up Donald J. Trump's, or the chumps, rectum, brown nosing man, They out here parading around. They can't wait. So happy that he came to the hood at their little park to campaign for him, praying that he can be the next ruler over them in the kingdom of Esau, to extend the rule of the beast. No, we're praying and rejoicing for the kingdom of the Most High, the kingdom of Israel, where the true king, Hamashiach Yahushua, will reign in righteousness with a rod of iron, man, that's going to be passed down to the elect to rule and judge over the nations. Blessed be the Most High that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. For he doth scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. So the Most High leads us, he punishes us. He gives us mercy. He kills us. He brings us back. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. So nobody escapes the judgment of the Most High, whether it be good or bad. Verse 3, it says, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. But the Christians sit back. It didn't say heathen. It didn't say they're among the heathen. It said the Gentiles. Well, what do you think the damn Gentiles are? I mean, it's ridiculous. Our people be making all kind of excuses, man. They don't want to submit themselves to the laws of the Most High. They want to submit themselves to understanding you have enemies on this earth that have not taken their foot off of your neck. And you love it. You love it, man. We're trying to get you out of being in love with your oppressor, man. What do you call it? Stockholm syndrome, man? Wake up and get up off of that. Deuteronomy 4:24 down to 27 says, for Yahweh thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. When thou shalt begat children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image or any likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahweh thy power, to provoke him to anger, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land, whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. Verse 27 is the point. And the Most High Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the what? Heathen, whither Yahweh shall lead you. Okay? So who was Habakkuk talking to? Of course, the children of Israel. The children of Israel. Now he says, what did he tell us? We got to be attentive and watch. It says, behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told to you. That's where our people lose faith, man. We talk about, man, the damn so-called white man, the heathen, they're going to be put into bondage, captivity, destruction, and death. He's going to be taken out of power. He's going to be replaced by a so-called black man with white woolly hair that's going to rule under the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. He's going to elect so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics to rule over the nations and to be the next inheritors of the earth. Right? Talking about America is going to be destroyed. Parts of the world going to be destroyed. Our land is going to have to be purged and rebuilt by the heathen on the back and sweat labor of them. Our people can't even think on those terms. You're talking about chariots, so-called UFOs, whatever they changed the name to now, unidentified aerial objects, UAEs or something now. Talking about that being the method of salvation, talking about how the nations are going to try to make war with Israel and Christ, and we're going to destroy him, and Christ is going to stomp out the so-called white man and have his garment drenched in his blood. He said, there's going to be a work in our works that you won't believe, even though it be told to us. Sometimes our people scratch our heads and say, man, how's this going to happen, man? I don't believe. Let me tell you, I left off of that thinking, what? And just move completely in faith when I've shared this story with brothers and sisters before. Early 90s in this truth, and you hearing about the gospel must be preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Everybody got to hear the word, so forth and so on. And we're saying, how's that going to happen? The earth is so vast. We got, at that time, it was like 7 billion people or less than that. And we say, we got to go all around the earth with this truth. Traveling, going here, there, everywhere, and still feeling like you ain't scratched the surface. And then what ends up happening in the mid 2000s, boom, the internet hits. YouTube. And then after that, oh, Facebook. After that, oh, Instagram. After that, oh, even before that, MySpace. Yeah, for those that remember MySpace, that was a network, mid 2000s. And next thing you know, the gospel starts spreading. Now it's to the point where I can't keep up with the camps, how many camps there are. I just give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High that the word of the Lord is moving and our people are waking up in droves. And you can see our enemies panicking, trying everything they can to slow down the word, trying everything they can to discourage, everything they can to distract, everything they can to persecute. And it's not working. So at that point, I said, I'm not asking the Most High no more because I see how he's going to have certain stuff happen. You ain't got to worry about when they got tanks and guns and M16, and Humvees and all that. Man, don't worry about all that. The Most High said, I told you what's going to happen. You ain't going to believe it. But you'll see. And that's how we got to move. Verse 6, it says, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans are the Babylonians. These are the wise men. These are the leaders, some of the leaders within the Babylonian Empire. So it says, for lo, I will raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation. This is a representative of the so-called white man. Bitter and hasty nation, man. They constantly on the move to colonize, destroy, take away, capitalize on everything, living by the sword, bitter. They kill and maim and destroy. They got a touch of disease, man. Every place they go, man, stuff starts rotting. All the nations hate him. I showed y'all the president of Turkey said that. Last year, I put out that article. But they tolerate him because they have to deal with him because he's in control of the earth. That bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that is not theirs. Who's the biggest colonizer on the earth? Micah 2:1-2 tells you they cover fields and they take it with violence. Psalm 49:11 tell you they get lands and they name them after themselves. This is so-called white man, man. He's the modern day Chaldeans, man, who's a bitter and hasty nation. Why are they bitter? Because they looking at us being at the bottom of the totem pole, man, still being the influence of the earth. I was talking with brothers, what was it, a week or so ago, where now breakdancing and all of that is an Olympic sport. That came from the slums of the Bronx in New York, where people brothers is taking out cardboard, putting it on the ground, dancing and spinning on their back and heads and popping and rhythmically moving to the rhythm, doing routines. Brother taking a damn turntable and a vinyl record and putting it on a turntable and scratching on it. Well, somebody think that's blasphemous. You tearing up the record. You damaging the record. My old school folks, you damaging the record, boy. You scratching up and give me my damn album. And not knowing that this is all part of a culture, all part of a spirit of us being the chosen people of the Lord, man, above all nations upon the face of the earth, the envy of the nations. I mean, we can turn ish into sugar, hell into a makeshift heaven, man. Even, we sit out here and make the worst, the best of the worst. And that makes them bitter. When they see us in all of our athletic acumen, excelling over all the nations, man, whatever we put our hands to, makes them bitter, man. That's why they get out there and they get on steroids. They try everything to try to keep up. They don't want us touching on golf. Oops, soon as you let a nigga in, here go Tiger, taking it over. They don't like that. The one thing they still trying to hold on to is hockey. And they started to let a few Jakes up in there. Everything else, man, that Jakes desire to get into, we can take it over anytime we want to. Bitter, during the Great Depression and all those times, man, our people were still living off the land and doing all right. In some cases. What was happening during the 20s, man, when they had, Black Wall Street and many of the other historical lands and compound cities where our people were striving, made them bitter, man, destroying them, killing them, blowing them up. See? And they marched through the breath of the land. So when they come onto the shores of the Caribbean, to the East Coast of America, South Central America, the plains here in the Midwest of America, they come through, man, stomping, marching, and destroying with cavalries, false peace treaties, you name it, and come in and possess dwelling places that's not theirs. Is not theirs. Okay. Let me read down just a little bit more. It says, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall precede themselves. See, we see the the nature of these people. It says their judgment and their dignity shall precede themselves. So just what we're seeing with this whole little judgment with Trump and all this other stuff, man. It said that their judgment and their dignity is going to precede themselves. It's going to go. We're going to see it go before themselves. Really, when you look at it, I'm spoiling my thoughts and opinions on this whole thing. It's just a big distraction. Big time distraction, man. People looking for something to go down. Oh, it's going to be a civil war. Jumped off. If he's found guilty, there ain't nothing happen. Matter of fact, he's not even due to be sentenced until July 11th. And even after that, he can appeal. They said the appeal could take over a year, even though they're probably going to deny it. But by that time, he's already president. Who knows? But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But the judgment and dignity shall precede themselves. Their horses are also swifter than the leopards and are more fierce than the evening wolves. So just talking about their weaponry, talking about the technology that they're able to assemble. This is how they're able to establish dominance over the earth. You're looking at that Oppenheimer and you're looking at that atomic bombs and hydrogen bombs that they make. That set the standard. The rest of the nation's going to fall in line. They got the F-16s. They got all these fighter jets, the B-52 bombers. They got it all. And that's just America. We ain't even talking about the Satan II missiles and all of the high range technology that the Russians is coming up with. This is all based upon the so-called white man. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. So remember, even with the conquering of America, that was one of the curses. A nation shall come afar whose tongue thou shalt not understand, not sparing the old or the young. So when the Spaniards come over here, the French, the British, the Portuguese, and they come over here and they start destroying and killing and maiming and seizing lands and colonizing and putting our people in slavery and taking them back into the interiors of Europe. Yeah, the Native Americans went into captivity by way of ships, Yeah, you can talk about the Aztec and the Mayan going into captivity by way of ships. Our people is over there to this day right now after being put in bondage. Verse 9, it says, they shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. So this is how they came forward. Living by the sword, by violence, by ruling over, taking captive the people. And it says, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. See, America scoffs at any king, but they do what they want. We're going to see that in a minute. They do whatever they want. They empower who they want. They set up these puppet leaders all over the place, holding coups. They held coups in Central America. They holding coups in Haiti. They holding coups in Africa, in various countries in Africa, taking them over, colonizing, inputting their puppet leaders. And then they scoff at anybody that tries to say, hey, you guys shouldn't be doing that. You guys are abusing your power. Hey, they like, man, shut the hell up. We do what we want to. And if you got anything to say, man, we've got over 700 military bases on the earth. Make a move. You don't like it? Think back to when, ask the damn Japanese what happens when you talk too tough, man, and you do something else. They still reeling and kissing the so-called white man's butt after getting bombed. They scoff at the kings and the princes shall scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. See, he wants it all. Down to the dust. That's how covetous this man is, right? So let's get to it, man. I'm gonna start with slow Biden. This is him scoffing at kings and a straight up liar, man. Again, and I'm gonna harp on this damn devil until he croaks. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm on his head, man. You know, slow Biden, man. I'm on this dude's head, man. All of the damn meeting. But here you go. Watch it. Biden says, I'm not supplying the weapons if Israel attacks Rafah. He said, hey, I didn't do it. It's not my weapons. Okay, let me hear it.
I want to ask you about something happening as we sit here and speak, and that, of course, is Israel is striking Rafah. I know that you have paused, Mr. President, shipment Israel is striking.
Watch his face, man. You got to study body language. Look at his eyes, and then watch when she brings up this particular topic. He's already got his eyes bugged out because he don't want to answer this. But watch.
About something happening as we sit here and speak, and that, of course, is Israel is striking Rafah. I know that you have paused, Mr. President, shipments of 2,000-pound U.S. bombs to Israel due to concern that they could be used in any offensive on Rafah. Have those bombs, those powerful 2,000-pound bombs, been used to kill civilians in Gaza?
Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs. And
see, when he gets to blinking, you know he's finna lie. The blink is the pause to try to get together the lie in the minds of the so-called, you know, that's they be talking about, like, when you read in body language and people that do that, and you know, when they do them polygraphs and all that type of stuff. When there's some sort of nervous tick that happens, you know that some sort of lie is getting ready to be told. They're trying to gather their thoughts. So he's blinking, blink, 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 or you see somebody tapping their finger or shaking and all of that. It's a mechanism that shows that they're getting ready to tell some BS. Watch his eyes.
Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other
now he's
ways
gathered
in
himself.
which they go after population centers. And made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks like came out of in the Middle East recently. But it's just wrong. We're not going to supply the weapons.
He said it's just wrong. We're not going to supply the weapons. We just want to make sure that the Iron Dome is secure, and you know, we don't support the bombing of Rafah and all that. He lied already and said that they're not in Rafah bombing. And the woman, the Edomite woman's going to press him and say they are there. And he's going to say, all phlegmy. What's up with this dude, man? All this damn phlegm and always clearing his throat and coughing every damn minute. He's probably done had the DVOC 91 since he's been in office. Something ain't right with this dude. But anyway, let's go.
And the artillery shells used that have been used.
Artillery shells as well.
Yeah, artillery shells.
So he said no bombs or artillery shells. So she said artillery shells as well, huh? Okay.
So just to understand what they're doing right now in Rafah, is that not going into Rafah as you don't?
No, they haven't gone into the population centers. What they did is right in the.
See, when he touched his nose, that's another throw off, man, because he's finna lie again. She just says so. What they're doing in Rafah right now, you're saying that's not going on. That's not what this is.
Rafah, as you
No,
define
they haven't gone into the population centers. What they did is right on the border, and it's causing problems with right now in terms of with Egypt, which I've worked very hard to make sure we have a relationship and help. But I've made it clear to Bibi and the War Cabinet, they're not going to get our support if, in fact, they go in these population centers.
So he says he's made it clear that they're not going to get the support if they go in these population centers. Am I the only one who noticed that they did go in and bomb, and innocent civilian mothers and children were killed? And Slow Biden says that didn't happen. There wasn't population centers. That's not what I'm talking about. This dude is a damn wicked ass demon, man, for real. Fork tongue creature, boy. I tell you. Sirach 5:14 says, "Be not called." No, Salaki. Let me read 13. It says, "Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall." See, this is why everybody's running off of the damn plantation, but getting ready to run to the next plantation. This is why people got to wake up, man, because they talk about, black folks are leaving the Democratic plantation to get a new master under the Republican plantation, boss. What? What are they talking about? They're so proud to say that now. We're leaving the plantation, but you're getting ready to go to another one. It's unbelievable. They really think they free. We finally woke up. We off of that Democratic plantation. Red boss over there, orange boss. He says he's a good boss. He gonna treat us good. Yes, sir. We're gonna be free on the Republican plantation. He said he's gonna give us money, jobs. Get the hell out of here, man. Honor and shame is in talking. The tongue of man is his fall. That's why Slow Biden, man, can barely talk, fumbling his words, all phlegmy and full of congestion. Down there picking his nose, blinking every damn minute. This is why he's gonna fall. And literally, we've seen him fall off a stage, on stage, bikes, falling upstairs, downstairs. I mean, all over the place. Literally and figuratively, man. But look at 14. It says, "Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue." So being a whisperer is one who is spreading rumors, backbiting, tale-bearing, so forth and so on. Lie not and wait with thy tongue. Sit back, can't wait to sit, entrap somebody and, talk about them and spread some more gossip and hate and evil communication and so forth and so on. It says, "Lie not and wait with thy tongue. For a foul shame is upon the thief, and evil condemnation upon the double tongue." So they've been put in the same category as a thief and one who was to be put to shame for doing such things. And the evil condemnation upon the double tongue. See, that's the forked tongue of the so-called white man. And Slow Biden is a clear representation of that. So he just told everybody clearly. She just said, okay, so no bombs, no artillery, and so what's going on in Rafah right now? That's not happening right now. No, they're not in Rafah. They're on the outskirts. If they get the population centers, it's going to be a problem. But meanwhile, what was it? 30 some odd people got put to death, and some more stuff going on. Innocent. And this has been going on since the so-called since this war began. Proverbs 20:17 says, "Bread of deceit is sweet to a man." The so-called white man loves the bread of deceit. I mean, he can eat on that all day long. That's all he needs to sustain himself. They always said, "But how do you know a person is a politician when he opens his mouth?" Because he lies. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. So, Slow Biden, man, and the rest of these damn heathens, man, they're going to be eating dirt. In the hood, they talk about somebody taking a dirt nap. It means you're 6 feet under, man. You out of here. mouth full of gravel. Why is he lie like that? Proverbs 4:17 says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness." See, the bread of deceit, they love it. The bread of wickedness, they love it, and drink the wine of violence. We just got to reading about it in Habakkuk chapter 1. They're taking lands that's not theirs. They're covetous with all malice and wickedness against the people. They're bitter and drink the wine of violence. So Slow Biden sips on the wine of violence, man, and then sits back and puts his glass underneath of the table and says, I was drinking water. No, that was grape juice. You thought you saw me drinking. No, it's the wine of violence. I saw another interview. It was a sister interviewing him. And she was like, well, where's the red line at? Like, when are you going to actually step in and say that's enough? And he was like, and she said, are you ever going to, turn your, are you ever going to stop your support of Israel? Like, it's clear that they're out of control. And you know what she said? I mean, you know what he said? He said, I'll never stop supporting it, of Israel. And he was like, oh, the one thing that we can't have is another 30,000 dead, right? So if he's saying that that's the case, in other words, he was like, my red line is if another 30,000 dies, okay, maybe I'll step in then, right? But this is the folly that goes on. So in other words, they can kill another 20,000, no red line, it's all good. How about 25,000? Oh, that's fine, no problem. Because he's drinking the wine of violence. He said, look, my red line is I'm trying to tell the small hat GMO leadership over there, hey man, don't get so sloppy and so careless. You already got over 35,000 under your belt right now. Slow down. I'm telling everybody my limit is like another 35,000. I can't defend you if you go further than that. So you can go up to another 29.5, it's all good. But that's his nature, man. Drinking nothing but violence, man. And then sit back and lie about it. And says that's not what's happening.
I want to ask.
Let's move on. Now, remember, she said, oh, so artillery, munitions, that's not being used, right? Slow Biden, that was the whole premise of this video.
I want to ask you about something happening as we sit here and speak, and that, of course, is Israel is
now we see
striking
here.
Rafah.
Ooh, hold on. Shalaki. What do we see here? U.S.-made munitions was used in a deadly strike on Rafah tent camp, CNN analysis shows. That was a CNN interview. CNN doubled back for once in a stinking rotten lies, the Clinton News Network or the criminal news network. They actually did a little investigation and said, hey, you know what? Maybe this is true. Looks like they're even turning their back on Slow Biden. After the interviews, they double back and say, oh, we did an investigation. And actually, yeah, those were U.S. munitions over there that killed the tent camp over there. Slow Biden lied. Munitions made in the United States were used in the deadly Israeli strike on a displacement camp in Rafah on Sunday. It says in Rafah, not on the outskirts, not on some population centers, as Slow Biden likes to say. The CNN analysis of video from the scene and a review by explosive weapons experts has found. So meanwhile, he's running around with a feather in his cap, talking about you can't escape justice. Yeah, look what, Trump, he's a felon. And this dude is a damn demon and a liar and is sitting out. They all playing the same game. Who can fool the people the fastest and the worst? Praying for votes. At least 45 people were killed and more than 200 others injured after a fire broke out following an Israeli military strike on the outskirts of Gaza's southernmost city. Most of them women and children, according to the Gaza Health Ministry and the Palestinian medics. And Slow Biden said he didn't do that. That wasn't their weapons. They wasn't in Gaza. They were. I don't know if this dude is delusional or he just can't help it. I'm under the assumption that he just can't help but lie. I mean, the scriptures do tell us that. As soon as he be born, he come out speaking lies. You know, was it Psalms 58? Come on, you. Let's do it this way then. Psalm 58. Psalm 58 and 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. I mean, he can't help it. It's just in him. It is in him, man. He come out speaking lies, man. That's the devil for you. So he lied about that, right? Look, White House signals Rafah strike doesn't cross a red line. So where is the red line at then? 45 people get killed, 200 injured, most of them women and children, innocent. And the White House says, what's wrong with that? Hey, all fair is in love and war, man. Nothing wrong with that. That just shows you the sadistic nature of the so-called white man. So do you think that he give a damn about our sisters, man, when they was being strung up by the legs and bellies cut open and the fetuses popping out and them stomping on the heads and them having contests of who can slice a whole body in half with one stroke of the sword? You think that they have red lines at that point? When they was throwing our babies as alligator bait, you think they had a red line when they blew up Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma? No, the so-called white man knows no bounds. When it comes down to torture, maiming, killing, raping, robbing, stealing, colonization, that by all means necessary. I mean, he's with it. Poisoning of our people, biological warfare, from the Tuskegee experiments to forced sterilizations, you name it, he's with it. So we just seen a whole bombing of innocent people, and they say no lines was crossed. Hey, what's wrong with that? Yeah, you guys don't think that was cool? The White House on Tuesday indicated an Israeli strike that killed dozens of Palestinians in Rafah did not cross a red line that will lead to a change in U.S. policy. The rest of the nations are running around. There's some of the other nations out here, man, the smaller nations within NATO or whatnot, they're popping out saying, hold on, this is a bit much. The UN goes out and they put out a warrant for Netanyahu's arrest. Everybody else see it, but guess what? When America is politicking and they're puppeteering the whole warfare strategies, they have the final say so. That's why we read in Habakkuk when it says that that they scoff at the kings of the earth. Like they don't give a damn. Red line, what red line? We do what we want. The ends justify the means. You dig what I'm saying? That's how they operate. Multiple administration officials in press briefings Tuesday described the images out of Rafah as heartbreaking, tragic, and horrific. America says, well done. Heartbreaking? What? That's funny. Tragic? That's splendid. Horrific? We don't know such words. But there was no sign of an impending policy change as a result because it was an airstrike and not a major ground operation. We still don't believe that a major ground operation in Rafah is warranted. We still don't want to see the Israelis, as we say, smash into Rafah with large units over large pieces of territory. We still believe that these bastards keep talking about what they believe. That they weren't, that believe that, and we haven't seen that at this point. White House spokesperson John Kirby told the reporters, hey, everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Business as usual. Move on. Even the small head demon himself, he says, oops, that was a mistake. Netanyahu admits tragic mistake as civilians were burnt alive in Rafah camp. He's softening up a little bit, but guess what? Biden tells him, hey, man, toughen up. He come up, oh, sorry, that was a mistake. He's still going to go all balls to the wall and continue on with the onslaught. Now that he's got the backing of America, if the damn mother of harlot's slow Biden says, keep going. You didn't cross no red lines, man. He's going forward. After he apologized, they came out and said there wasn't no red lines crossed. What's wrong? Look at the dates. You might not be able to see the article date, but it says here, May 27th was when this article came out, when he said it was a mistake. May 28th, America doubles down and says, hey, there wasn't no red lines crossed. That's fine. And guess what? Netanyahu geared back up and went right back in again. Look at this.
Up its military force in Gaza, moving troops deeper into the city of Rafah.
Moving in deeper. Didn't slow Biden say, hey, once you start getting into the interior camps, the population centers, it's a problem. Hold on. Well, right after they got the cosign from America saying there was no red lines crossed, what they do? They went straight in for the march. After this deadly strike, after Netanyahu came out and give a fake apology, oops, it was a tragic mistake, but we're not stopping. We're going to continue bombing. That's how evil these people are, man.
Thousands of people are on the run just days after Israel's fiery airstrike devastated a camp for Palestinian refugees. 3 independent weapons experts tell CBS News that the bombs used in that attack were made by the U.S.
So, by default, America is complicit in this, as they sit back and say, "Oh, there was no red lines crossed. There was no. We didn't use. That wasn't our munitions. That wasn't our bombs. What are you talking about?" Everybody see it, right? Now you're an accessory to this, and they scoff at it and say, "What are you talking about? Shut up."
The tensions are putting even more pressure on the Biden administration to reconsider its military support for Israel. This exchange came earlier this week.
How many more charred corpses does he have to see before the president considers a change in policy?
We don't want to see a single more innocent life taken. And I kind of take a little offense at the question.
You see how they reverse it? We don't want to see one more single dead body, basically. And I take offense to that. Your administration just said that there was no red lines crossed. Everything was great. Even though you just got through hearing that 45 innocent women and children were killed. They wasn't even supposed to be invading Rafah, number one. Rafah was supposed to be. Remember when this whole thing first started, they told everybody, flee to the south because we're getting ready to invade Gaza and it's about to go down. We're giving you a chance to get up out of here. Rafah was one of the places that they told everybody was a safe haven, a kill-free zone, that wouldn't be invaded. So they broke that covenant, went in there, and they start killing again. And John Kirby got the nerve to sit back and say, I take offense that you say we want more death. Did they stop them from bombing again after it went down? No. Did they stop supplying the weapon? No. Has America intervened and just said, hey, you know what? This is over with. The Israeli forces, man, if y'all make one more move, we're going to come in and we're going to invade you. That's how you stop it. But they ain't going to do that. Slow Biden says, man, I love the small hats so much, man. I'm never going to leave them. They're going to constantly be under our armpit.
No civilian casualties is the right number of civilian casualties.
The White House emphasized that President Biden would reevaluate support if Israel carried out a large ground operation in Rafah. Well, last night, Israel's national security advisor said the war in Gaza could last until the end of the year. Israel is ramping up.
So they're saying, hey, you know what? You can bomb all you want to. Just don't come in on the grounds. Which does more damage? Bombs or a ground invasion? I mean, come on, man. This is unbelievable.
It's military.
Look, this is how far it's spreading. Mexico City, Israeli embassy is set on fire using Molotov cocktails as protests intensify against Israel's massacre in Rafah. So protests is going on all throughout the world. Pro-Palestine, protests is going on. anti-Israeli protests is going on. The world is turning their back. Like I said, you got if any brothers remember in which nations they were that were ready to acknowledge Palestine as an independent state. Throw it in there. I can't remember. I can pull it up if need be, but just trying to keep flowing. But many are turning their back on these people, man. Look at Exodus 17:16. It says, "For he said, because Yahweh have sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." See, they even threw out the disillusionment and talking about that the Palestinians was Amalek. The small hats are out there trying to throw that off on them. No, that's Amalek. That's why we got war with them. God hates them. And meanwhile, it's you. You're from the seed of Edom. Amalek is one of the dukes. You go all the way back to Haman during the time of Esther, and him being a link to the king of Gog, was a king over the Edomites. You look at Haman. Haman was even in the things in the editions of Esther in the Apocrypha. It makes mention that he was a Macedonian. In other words, he was a Edomite. So look at this. Now you see why everybody is turning on them, because that's the spirit that the Lord is putting on the earth. That all the nations now is all looking at them like, man, what? We got to make war with them. We're going to turn up on them. They're going to be the most hated. And they sit back and try to flip it and say, well, that's because we're the chosen people. Everybody's going to hate us. No. Nowhere in the scriptures does it say that the children of Israel was hated because we killed and slaughtered and took advantage and ruled the earth with an iron fist and control all the money and control Hollywood and control all of these institutions of government paying off. There's a foundation. I can't remember the name of the foundation, but there's a whole foundation, man, led by GMO small hat rich folks, man, that pay for and donate heavy amounts of money to political parties for their interest to be fulfilled. I can't remember the name of that organization. I got to find that one. But you know what? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if this is the one. The name's not ringing a bell just yet. I can't remember, but I'll double back. I'll try to find it. That's it. Corrupt as Spain, Germany, Norway. Oh no, Spain, Ireland, Norway. Yeah, that's right. That's right. APAC. See, y'all got it, man. Y'all are on top of it, man. Carlos Carruthers out the water. That's right. That's the one it was. APAC. The APAC Foundation. These are the ones that keeping Israel safe and America strong. A national movement of pro-Israel Americans, more than 3 million of them. And their money goes far. I'm not going to read all into this, but if you want to go do a little deep digging, you're going to see. See this? We stand with those who stand with Israel. See, so here they are talking about, if you're with Israel, we're standing with you. We don't like anybody else. The AIPAC PAC is a bipartisan pro-Israel political action committee. It is the largest Israel PAC in America and contributed more resources directly to candidates. Let's read that again. And contributed more resources directly to candidates than any other PAC. 98% of all AIPAC-backed candidates won their general election races in 2022. So wherever they put their money at, 98% of them people is winning. And the only people that you see that's in these offices are pro these people. They said they only stand with who's with them. This is why you see that a lot of these political candidates, they're not going to go against the grain, or their water gets cut off. But you see, even in Mexico, they firebomb with Molotov cocktails the embassy. You see all these anti-small hat, GMO protests going on all throughout the earth. Why? Because the Spirit of the Lord is stirring it up amongst the people. Truth is being shown. You know, the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American men on the highways and the byways can't be the only one calling them out, because what do we look like? Oh, they're a hate group. Oh, they're not speaking the truth. Oh, that's not right. So the Lord said, no, don't worry. We're going to make their tongue fall on themselves. Everybody's going to see it, and the rest of the world is going to join in, and they're going to see what it is. 2 Ezra 9 and verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall, you know what, I'm going to start at 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. You know, and that's why I was saying, and I brought this one up, this scripture before, but it's just so relevant. Why is this thing never? Am I not spelling Psalms right every time I put it in? It does not want to go there. Psalm 64. And let's read verse 8. We'll get right to the point. Verse 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they're going to be able to expose themselves. They're not going to have to hear from, you know, the so-called crazy Negroes on the street yelling at the top of their lungs, dress funny and all. No. It's okay, because they're going to tell on themselves. They're going to expose themselves. And now what do you see? You even see George Soros paying off all of these anti, you know, them people, because, you know, you got to be careful with the bot language and all of that, man, because they listening, wondering when they can insert hate speech and shut the video down. So the anti-small hats, man, their protests going on all over the place, led and getting paid off by one of their own. So y'all see it, everybody see it. So even all the way down to Mexico, man, protests going on, right? Israeli and Egyptian forces exchange fire. Egyptian soldier gets killed. So now Egypt has jumped in. Remember, Slow Biden was talking about, my main concern is Egypt. You know, they're getting affected by what's going on. Because what? Egypt sat back and said, hey, look, we had your back. We told them they got to calm down, and you know, they can't come over here. We restricted them from coming into the border. And here we are, seeing that you guys out here killing and destroying innocent people. They get into it. Now the small hat armies start getting into fire with the Egyptians. So now we're seeing an expansion, and both are relying upon America for allyship and help. So now America's got to make their decision. We're going to stand behind Egypt, or we're going to stand behind the small hats. Well, it's been clear that the GMO connection with America is much stronger than what they got going on with Egypt. So the war is expanding. Israeli and Egyptian forces exchanged fire near Rafah on Monday, with sources in the IDF telling Israeli media that an Egyptian soldier who fired at troops operating on a tunnel near the border who returned fire, killing one Egyptian soldier. So, of course, they're going to say, oh, he fired at us first. Well, first of all, you wasn't even supposed to be over there. And did they just say that there wasn't supposed to be no ground activity going on? How are they exchanging fire with each other? Somebody lying. After the incident, IDF officials contacted Egyptian officials to stop the fire. No Israeli soldiers were injured in the incident. The IDF said that the incident was under investigation, and there was a dialogue with the Egyptians. Oh, that's going to come to a whole lot of resolution, a dialogue, right? So the small house, man, the GMO clones is out there causing a lot of problems. They're going to draw America into a larger scale war, and America got their hands full right now. Let's move on. Oh, getting back to the headline that we just talked about, one of the headlines of the show today, or the class today, or whatever you want to call it. Biden secretly gave Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia with U.S. weapons. So when I said, but did Biden give the okay to bomb Russia? That includes bombs. That includes U.S. munitions. So he clearly gave the A-OK, the green light, to start bombing into the interiors of Russia, which was supposed to be forbidden. And now Putin came out and said, man, try it. This is the whole reason why we got into this war in the beginning. NATO wasn't even supposed to be getting any closer to our border, setting up shop. Ukraine opens up their doors. They were told don't do that. We had an agreement. You got other countries around was doing it. So what we got to do? We got to bomb first. We're not going to let you hit us first. And then they say that this was Putin's war, which was completely unprovoked, which is a damn lie. They provoked it by breaking their treaty agreement. Unbelievable. And now slow Biden, remember the old video where he said, when you have planes and tanks and airplanes flying into the world, that's called World War III. Make no mistake about it. That's not kidder. And now he's full blown. Planes is there. Tanks is there. Troops is there. They're supplying the weapons, and they're saying, go forward with bombing Russia. We got your back. See? You see that? Brother put that on there, man. Karate, that's right. So you tell me if we're on the verge of World War, not even on the verge, man. Are we engaged in World War III? But people can't see it because they worried about surviving Diddy. People can't see it because they too busy worried about the nonsense that gets thrown in our faces. They're worried about this little fake trial with Trump. Civil war going on over here. I mean, there's so many things that they got laid out. You worried about bird flu. You dig what I'm saying? There's so much stuff that they're throwing out there, man. Meanwhile, they're operating in secret, doing all of this wickedness, man, kicking off wars, being fork-tongued and deceitful and hypocrites. But it's all par for the course because all of this has to go down for this World War III thing to really, really hit the fan. All right. Biden administration is quietly giving Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia. Again, who controls the earth? Is it the white man or is it the Arabs? I mean, who else can give somebody else permission to go and bomb someplace else? We've tracked a number of different things, even down to the money with Iran. We talked about that a week or so ago. Right? Took $6 billion of their money, funneled it over into a foreign bank in South Korea, held it over there, told the Koreans, man, hold this for us. Yeah, we just took it from somebody else. You hold it now. Now they're accountable. Now they say, okay, give us the money back, and then we're going to filter it over into some European banks linked with Qatar. I mean, they control every damn thing. And then they tell the Ukrainians who and when and what, where and how they can bomb. So you've gotten the permission from the beast and the great whore that rides on the beast, man. You got permission from her to carry out your strikes. See, Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia solely near the area of Kharkiv using U.S. provided weapons. 3 U.S. officials and 2 other people familiar with the move said Thursday a major reversal that helped Ukraine to better defend its second largest city. Major reversal, man. So they've gone against everything that they stood for, everything that they said they would not do within this war confines. They're switching up. Why? Because they thought that with their training, with their weapons, and with their additional help, that Ukraine could defend itself and make progressions to make Russia tap out. And that clearly did not work. So now they got to ramp it up, step it up, and accelerate the collapse of Russia via war, which isn't going to happen. Let's move on. Look at this guy. Here you go again.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Prague this morning as part of a multi-day meeting with NATO foreign ministers. Earlier at a press conference with the president of Moldova, Blinken made headlines by leaving the door open to a key shift in U.S. policy, allowing Ukraine to fire American weapons into Russian Federation territory.
So we see American weapons being used with Israel and Palestine, American weapons being used with Ukraine and Russia. See, America's at the center of all of this. This is how we know that America is going to be drawn into World War III. This is why we know that America is going to get hit up and bombed from multiple angles and countries because of all of the dirt that they're doing, all that they, stinking little claws is in. They got retribution and hell to pay. This is why all the nations is going to be sitting back saying, man, what? This is okay. Let's get back to Obadiah real quick. This is why all the nations, man. He said that there's going to be a war. Obadiah 1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Most High Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh and an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. They're going to rise up against her. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See, once great amongst the heathen, all the heathen nations going to turn on them. Because they're going out there doing everything that they want, establishing rule over everybody, bombing, and then, throwing rocks, hiding their hands, saying, oh, that wasn't us. And then they look back and they said, these were your bombs. These are your munitions. No, how did that happen? You gave permission, remember? Unbelievable. Verse 7, I'm going to drop down. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, remember the bread of violence. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in them. The bread of deceit, the bread of violence. They ate it and now they turned it on them. There's no understanding in them. So we see in the pattern, we see what they're up to.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Prague this morning as part of a multi-day meeting with NATO foreign ministers. Earlier at a press conference with the president of Moldova, Blinken made headlines by leaving the door open to a key shift in U.S. policy, allowing Ukraine to fire American weapons into Russian Federation territory.
We haven't encouraged or enabled strikes outside of Ukraine. But Ukraine, as I've said before, has to make its own decisions about the best way to effectively.
For the latest, let's go to Claudia.
So they're going to lie and say, oh, yeah, we're giving it to them, but Ukraine's got the decision whether or not they're going to use it. It's up to them. As much as Zelensky's been running around begging for weapons, begging for money, begging for help, you think that you gave him the permission to bomb, you giving him the minutes, you think he's not going to use it? Come on, man. That's how they be lying. They play these games. We gave it to them, but it's up to them to use it. You know damn well they're going to use them. You gave them permission, told them to handle it. That's why he's
Good.
Who's on board with it? Who else is on board?
The time has come for allies to consider whether they should lift some of the restrictions they have imposed on weapons donated to Ukraine. Because we need to remember what this is. This is a war of aggression by Russia against Ukraine. Ukraine has...
Jens Stoltenberg, head of NATO. NATO's boss wants to free Ukraine to strike inside Russia. So they get the word from America, who runs NATO, and now put him on the front line, put NATO's head on the front line and say, now you go out there and be the mouthpiece. You stand behind what we're pushing. And I said it all along. I said, Russia's going to win the war with Ukraine. NATO's not going to let it go down. They're going to have to get involved. That's going to lead to World War III. Now we're seeing them even more and more inching towards themselves getting involved. They got NATO troops on the ground over there. They're supplying the weapons, the bombs. Now they're saying, yeah, we want to bomb inside Russia. Slow Biden and everybody's on board. Bomb inside Russia. And then Putin is saying, hey, you know what? Try it if you want to. I'm responding nuclearly. Y'all can't handle what I got coming. You've got small, dense populated areas where I know where most of the people is at. I can start lighting y'all up. Back down, fall back, or else. And NATO, America, the EU, everybody's saying, no, we're going full-fledged.
Try to defend themselves, and that includes also striking targets on Russian territory. Some allies have already lifted those restrictions, allowing to use their weapons against military targets in Ukraine, and I believe the time has come for all allies to consider this.
The UK has effectively lifted the restrictions, and it is the US that's really the single most important one.
I think what we see now demonstrates the need to reconsider those restrictions, not least because we have fighting going on along the border between Russia and Ukraine, especially in the Kharkiv region, where the front line and the borderline is more or less the same. And then, of course, if you deny Ukraine the right to hit military targets on Russian territory, then you make it very hard for them to uphold the right for self-defense. This is self-defense. Self-defense is enshrined in the UN Charter. It's
See, isn't that what they always say? Israel has the right to defend itself. Ukraine, this is self-defense. It's always they act like they're the innocent ones. Again, throwing rocks, hiding their hands. So the head of NATO saying we're on board. We're trying to get all the rest of the European nations on board. Some have already lifted their restrictions. They're already with it. America's already said that it's a go. So you know what time it is. And brother just out there putting up information regarding that they already have hit with drone strikes and missile strikes in the interiors of Russia. So strap in, because the road is the ride is about to get kind of rough.
Legal, it's legitimate, and we
enough of him. All right. NATO's newest member okays Ukraine using its weapons to strike deep in Russian territory. Sweden just joined in. They immediately jumped on board. Sweden is supposed to be one of the most peaceful countries on earth. They come in, they drink a little bit of the wine of the wrath, and they drunk as hell. They already said, yeah, bomb them. We're with it. Look down here. According with the law of war, it is perfectly possible, and there is no contradiction, he said in a meeting with European Union defense ministers. Sweden agrees with him. What was he proposing? That all of NATO drops their restrictions, comes into a full-fledged one-mind agreement to start striking Russia. It's getting close, y'all. It's getting close. Putin says French military's appearance in Ukraine is a step towards a global conflict. Remember, Prime Minister Macron, he was one of the ones leading the charge for months now, talking about we need to step it up. We need to get over there and get active with Russia. We need to, start getting troops over there and bombs over there and drones over there. And some of the other nations were telling him, hey, fall back, calm down. It's not time yet. Now, some months later, they're all on board now. But what they need? They needed America to give the okay. Now that America's giving the okay, now all the nations are stepping out. That lets you know who's running everything. That lets you know that America, that's even more of a factor when we're talking about who Babylon is in Revelation 18, who the mother of harlots is that has all the nations, man, sprung off of her, wine and all of that. Enticed by her costly array and the purple and the scarlet and the pearls and everything else. All the ones that's laying in bed with her. Whatever she says goes, man. I mean, 2 Ezra 4 tells you which is more stronger, the wine, the woman, or the king. And they all tell you the woman is the strongest. Says, man, she sits on the lap of the king, man, and takes the crown off of his head and puts it on hers. Slaps him. Whole nations and kings go to war over their women. I mean, just look at the crimes of passion and go on just here in domestically. Man willing to kill. The woman's cheating on the man, and the man goes out and kills the man that she's cheating on. She should have been to blame, being an adulteress. But the man said, that's my woman. She went off and left me and laid with this nigga. I'm about to kill him. Go off and kill him and then go back and try to make up with her. Meanwhile, he gets put to death or he gets jailed for life. Throw his whole life away. But that's how America, the great mother of harlots, runs all these nations. Whatever she says goes. And they're willing to go to war for her and lose everything for her. So once America gets okay, man, everybody's on board. Now, when they was listening to the French Prime Minister, Macron, when he was talking about it, everybody's like, man, shut up. We're not doing that right now. Now America gets permission, everybody's on board. Facts. So now Putin is saying the French military's appearance in the Ukraine is a step towards a global conflict. So Putin is already calculating this is leaning more towards World War III. Nuclear threat. Russia's Medvedev warns Poland it will get its share of radioactive ash. Former president and current prime minister Dmitry Medvedev took to social media over the weekend in response to an interview with Polish foreign prime minister Radoslaw Sikorski and warned Poland would face a nuclear attack if Poland and its allies responded to any Russian nuclear tactical attack with a massive conventional assault on Russian forces in Ukraine. Warsaw will not be omitted and is certain to receive its share of radioactive ash, wrote Medvedev in response to remarks made in the likelihood of a Russian nuclear attack by a Polish foreign minister, Radoslaw Sikorski, in an interview with the Guardian. So we're seeing Poland getting involved. Look at how close they are. Ukraine here, Belarus here, Lithuania here. This is Russian occupied territory that they won back. Poland's right there. Here's another one. So when they talk about radioactive ash, they're definitely in close proximity of getting hit up. You know? So imagine when this thing goes, all these neighboring countries is they in trouble. Sweden over here, they talking big stuff, man. These two just joined NATO. I mean, Russia is damn near surrounded by their enemies. So they got no choice but to be aggressive. Let's get back over here. Biden administration presses allies not to confront Iran on a nuclear program. So the rest of the European allies and European Union, they're concerned about Iran stocking up, getting ready to get nuclear. And Biden is telling them, no, hold on. We can't trip off of them right now because we got to deal with Russia. We got to deal with North Korea. We got to deal with Palestine. And we've got all kind of, our hands is tied right now. Again, showing that America calls all the shots. The Biden administration is pressing European allies to back off plans to rebuke Iran for advances in its nuclear program. Because what's going to happen? They're trying to divert attention away from the president dying in the helicopter crash that was made to look like an accident. I mean, excuse me. From all intents and purposes, it was an accident. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know, I got no proof that it was anything other than, but, you know, for itch and giggles, as they say, let's just assume that something wasn't right. Right? Would you want more attention getting drawn as the European nations now rise up and say, okay, now that the president's out the way, about them that nuclear power that you're trying to get at, that's over with. America's like, hold on, that's too obvious. We can't go out there and immediately go right at them about their policies right after we take out their leadership. That's going to look like we're trying to collapse them on purpose or they'll slow down. See, America's calculated. So they had to tell the other rest of the damn hyenas, slow down. We're not going to come at them right now. The U.S. is arguing against an effort by Britain and France to censor Iran at the International Atomic Energy Agency member state board in early June, the diplomat said. And it's always these, man, Great Britain and France are the ones that's always pushing the issue, man. And these are the ones who ain't got itch to bring to the table when this war jumps off. I just seen an article, man. They said, man, Great Britain has got the smallest army. They're lacking troop. Hold on. Let me see that. This is from this ain't even the most recent ones, but this is why they were talking about using conscription or utilizing a draft in Europe because their defenses, their whole armies is falling down. Look at this. The British Army is already the smallest it's been in 400 years. British military shrinks by nearly 30% since 2000. British Army to be cut to 72,500 troops by 2025. You know, you got that homeboy, man, your homegirl you was in the world, and they was the ones always starting something, but you know they couldn't fight. You know that they had no business, doing anything, but they dragging you into something. I mean, that's what was going. If that's what's going on with France and Great Britain, they're the ones out there sparking up everything, and then they sit back and say, "Get them, America! Come on, NATO, help us!" And they like, hold on, follow instructions, man. Stop jumping out the window, starting up stuff that we're not ready to get engaged in yet. Britain got one of the smallest armies out there, man, and they out there woofing the most. Unbelievable, but that's how they operate. So Biden had to calm them down, man. Tell them slow down. We're not ready to do that yet. Continued on. Some U.S. weapons stymied by Russian jamming in Ukraine. So this is also a problem. This is how we're going to also see that America is going to have issues. There's been a high percentage of the weapons that are being used in the war over there that Russia's got this GPS jamming technology that's making the weapons that the Ukrainians are trying to use from America ineffective. So that lets you know, man, even when it comes down to a ground level or aerial level technology, America is getting, pushed by the wayside. Russia's got interceptive jamming technology, man, that's jacking up their electronics. Two classified Ukrainian reports show that some U.S. precision-guided weapons are vulnerable to electronic warfare, an element in Ukraine's recent battlefield setbacks. They trying to use this stuff, man, and they shut them down, jamming the technology so that they can't even hit their targets or failures to launch and all of that. See, this to let you know, man, America is getting weaker and weaker. People scratching their heads saying, we'll never get hit. We'll never get bombed. Okay. That ain't what the Lord said. And we're seeing evidences of the weakening of America and its prestige that it once had is falling by the wayside. Just wanted to bring that out. Let's move on. Saudi Arabia appoints its first ambassador to Syria since 2012. So now we're seeing the dragons of Arabia, aligning themselves up. They've made their peace treaties with Iran now since 2020. So it's been damn near 12 years since they made peace with Syria. Behind closed doors, man, Ishmael's, gearing up too. They got the BRICS nation that they've aligned themselves with India, Iran, Russia, China, and South Africa. Saudi Arabia has joined that. The United Arab Emirates have joined that. So they're gearing up, breaking free from the bonds of, America. I'm going to just read this real quick. It says, 2 Ezra 15, 28 and 29. It says, behold, in horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So this is, a twofold aspect with the dragons of Arabia with the Islamic conquest. And also we're seeing them again on their caliphates in today's terms. There was just a big one dude, they had an anti Islam protest over in Germany. One dude came out with a knife, man, started stabbing up everybody he could find until he got shot. He stabbed a cop and I think 2 or 3 other people. But that's all of them, standing up against Islam. But that was just a side note. But if we're seeing also that they're gearing up as well. So we're seeing once a nation that was fractured with religious understanding between the Shiite and the Sunni Muslim communities and whatnot, they're starting to drop those differences in order for political means, for money, for allyship. When the proverbial ish hits the fan, they're coming together too. See, verse 30 talking about the Carmanians. The Carmanians is Iran. It says also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as a wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So the land of the Assyrians is over in the so-called Middle East. This is where all this is going to be going down, right? So here we see it. They're coming together. Look, Saudi Arabia on Sunday announced the appointment of its first ambassador to Syria since severing ties with Damascus in 12 years. So Syria, Saudi Arabia, they ain't got along in 12 years. What's drawing them together now? What made Saudi Arabia and Iran peace up and come together again, right? Iraq is trying to get in on the deal. They want in with the BRICS. They want in and want to get their economy back on track. So it's all coming together, man. Syria since severing ties with Damascus in 12 years, marking an ongoing thawing in relations since the war-torn country was readmitted to the Arab League over a year ago. Faisal al-Mujafel's appointment as the kingdom's first ambassador to Syria since 2012 was announced by the state-run Saudi press agency. It comes over a year after Syria was readmitted to the 22-member Arab League. See, remember even Ishmael had 12 sons, man, wild men of the desert. They're all coming back together, making league with the other tribes. It remained suspended from the group for more than a decade over President Bashar Assad's brutal crackdown on anti-government protesters in 2011, right? So Ishmael is coming back together. Turkey's a Trojan calls on Islamic world to take action over Gaza. See that? Turkey wants an Islamic world to come together. Sunni, Shia, doesn't matter, man. We got to come together. We got to realign ourselves. All hell is about to break loose. And we can use Gaza as a means to establish this, right? So he says, I quote, I have some words to say to the Islamic world. What are you waiting for to take a common decision? Adrozen told lawmakers from this AKP party, adding that Israel is not just a threat to Gaza, but to all of humanity. You see how all the nations now are rising up against Amalek, man? Why? Because the Lord said that he's going to have war with Amalek forever, from generation to generation. Generation to generation. We're in the spirit then, Karatazah. See that? So Ishmael is lying. They're coming together. All praises. There we go. Look, now let's get to the head demon in charge. Guilty. Trump becomes the first former president convicted of felony crimes. Everybody knows this right now. Everybody's seeing what happened. People are saying, what's going to happen? Ain't nothing going to happen. Nothing going to happen. Number one, they said he can face anywhere between 4 and 100 and some odd years They ain't gonna give him that time. Number one, he's too damn old. He's 71, 72, however old he is. Ain't nobody finna pay no taxpayer money, man, for him to sit in a cell over falsifying business records. All got uncovered because he paid off a damn hoe he was dealing with. Ain't nobody. The whole fact that they even brought him up on charges for that. If you notice, everything that he's got hit with, first it was the old white broad man that said that he raped her or did something, some 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however long ago, and that was a civil case. Got to pay her 80 some odd $1 million. Now here comes another allegation with a damn hoe talking about she got paid off, and it was some hush money for $100 some odd $1,000. Oh, and guess what that opened up? Oh, we seen all these falsified business records. Man, all these Edomites is running falsified business documents. White collar crimes. I guarantee you. A lot of them done skinned some off the top, man, and robbed Peter to pay Paul and cook the books to keep their businesses afloat or to establish a business. The whole essence is of a DBA, even though it's legal, but it's called a fictitious business license. Fictitious. I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? But all this is drummed up to create distractions because here they got all hell breaking loose, getting ready to go down with World War III, but they want everybody worried about what's happening with the chump. And even though it's still political because, Slow Biden and his campaign, they don't want no parts of him coming up and taking over what was going to be the next reign of Babylon for 4 years. They trying everything they can to shut him down. So they get these charges up on him. Then they had to, they said he was operating business illegally in New York. They hit him with another $400 million lawsuit. So they hit him in the pockets. Now they trying to hit him criminally. 34 damn felonies, man. Well, leave it to New York, man. You see cats out there stealing, shooting, robbing, getting cars and all of that. They getting locked up and released right back on the street. So the way that the laws is in New York, they're not tripping. You think he's gonna get arrested? They're gonna lock him up. You see case after case, man, about cats out there doing all kind of dirt and be let right back out on the streets the next day. I mean, come on. They said, man, this dude made $54 million overnight from the guilty verdict. His campaign funds, man, skyrocketed. They did no damage. So he ain't going to jail. Worst case, because remember, they even have he's got lifelong protection with the Secret Service. There was an article talking about the Secret Service was getting ready to prepare in case they need to go to jail and accompany him in jail. You think taxpayers are gonna be cool with that? They're gonna be like, man, we got to fund the Secret Service protecting him in jail, pay for him to sit up in a PC cell in some plush camp in New York, upstate New York somewhere. They're not finna pay for that. So that ain't going down. Worst case scenario he get is some probation and heavy fines. They're gonna try to break him, so he ain't got no money to do anything, operate. And worse than that, maybe he get a house arrest where he can chill up in Mar-a-Lago and do his thing. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, brothers. Worst case scenario, he get house arrest. Best case scenario, he gets probation and heavy fines. But they said that this doesn't affect him running. There's no law that says you can't be a felon and not run for president and all this other stuff. So he's still heavy on the campaign trail. He came out talking ish about the whole trial afterwards. Talk about the judge, everything else. So it ain't nothing gonna go down, man. So Jake, don't be running. Man, it's a civil war about to jump off because Trump man, these Edomites, they gonna tear up shit. No, they not. They already said, man, it's not gonna stop his campaigning. The dude made $54 million overnight. It was a distraction. They just put off a sentence until July 11th. I think, and then that was strategized because July 15th is supposed to be the Republican National Conference or whatnot. The RNC is supposed to go down 4 days later, so they just trying to, damage his name and reputation before that. He got this debate coming up with Slow Biden. All this is really to keep it real. This is all more evidences of, for us in the spirit, we looking at this as great, all praises, because what? It's all signaling more of America being destroyed and taken down. Mark 3 says in verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. So as long as you got conservative against the liberals, as long as you got pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Biden, anti-Biden, this kingdom over here has been even more divided than ever. Leave it to the politics, lead it to the money, lead it to the law statutes and things that's being set up here. America's more divided than ever, man. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So this is what we're looking at. This is what we should be focusing in on, not being distracted about what he's talking about. This is a sham trial. This is a fake. We don't give a damn about none of that. Just stay divided, man. Just keep campaigning. Keep talking your ish. Keep showing how bad and how wicked America is. Keep showing how crooked the judicial system is. Keep showing how, slow Biden is a damn crook. Keep showing how the border and everything. Yeah, because that just gives us more evidences that this place is on the fast track of destruction and falling. This is what we should be focused in on. Luke 11:34 says, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when that eye is single, the whole body is full of light. Damn, didn't I have that? Yeah, watch this. Watch this. There was a video that I seen, and I was looking at a while back, and I was looking at how does vision in your eyes work? Because this is interesting. There's one that took like a minute. Here you go. Watch this. Now, this is a video that says, how do eyes work? Animation explained within 1 minute.
Light passes into the eyes through the cornea, which is...
Now, notice the first thing off the rip. That was from the words of Hamashiach Yahushua. When he said, if thy eye be single and is full of light. You talk about science, biology is not in the Bible. That came from our Savior. He even told us how things operate and work. That's just on a biological level, right? Our eyes are reflectors. We get the light. The light comes in, right? Hold on. Slack it. That's what I meant to do. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, the whole body is full of light. Well, looking at it in the scriptures, right? And I'm going to get back to the video in a second. It says, the light of the body is the eye. Proverbs 6. And did I pass it up? Why am I drawing a blank on the 6 and here we go. 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Now watch this. The law is the light. Now,
light passes into the eyes through the cornea, which is also called windows of the eyes, and then through anterior chamber, into the pupils, the round opening, in the center of the iris. The iris, which are a flat, colored, ring-shaped membrane behind the cornea of the eyes, may dilate or constrict to determine how much light gets to the lens. Then, the lens moves light through the clear cavity, called the vitreous, and focuses it on the retina. The retina then converts this light energy into electrical impulses. and passes it through the optic nerve, also called the second cranial nerve.
Now, another fun fact, it said this enters into the second cranial nerve. You know that there's 12 cranial nerves in the brain? You know, when you look at the creation, man, there's no way you can talk about some damn Big Bang created such an integral system within our bodies to help us function here on the earth, and how it even ties into the number 12. Not to get too deep off into numerology, but you got 12 cranial nerves to operate the brain and the functionality of the body, 12 hours in a day, 12 hours a night, 12 months in a year. You dig what I'm saying? 12 tribes, so forth and so on. Everything is centered around us. When the Most High said that he made the earth for our sakes, you know, our bodies is made up of almost 12 to 13% carbon. I mean, put it all together, man.
Impulses then travel through the optic nerve into the primary visual cortex, which is...
So the light enters in the eyes, that creates the energy that initiates the traveling of that energy to hit the cranial nerve. The cranial nerve then takes that light, focuses it on the brain so that the brain can become active to process the light and act accordingly of what it sees.
It's located in the most posterior portion of the brain's occipital lobe. While it may sound like a lengthy process, but takes only about 13 milliseconds.
So, why do I bring that up? Because what does the Most High tell us? That the light of the body is the eye. So, thereof, when the eye is single, the whole body is also full of light. So, when our singular focus is on the laws, statutes, and commandments, it helps us to visually process good, evil, tells us what we should and shouldn't be doing, helps us to be able to see, to understand, to receive knowledge, to receive wisdom, to get understanding. When we're focused in on that, in other words, don't be distracted by looking at things in the dark, looking at things that, you know, are that diminish the light, because that ends up happening. What? That's when we start falling off. That's when we end up getting caught up. That's why Yahweh Shai even told about the Pharisees, and he told them, he said, man, they be blind leaders of the blind. They both be blind, let them fall in the ditch. Why? Because they were occupied in evil. It wasn't focused in on the laws and the commandments. That's what keeps us illuminated. See, the so-called white man takes illumination and he does it on the left-hand side, utilizing it with the elements of the occult and wickedness. We utilize the light, which is based upon law, statutes, commandments. That's what illuminates us. That's what helps us visually see our path. That's what helps us to stay on that narrow path that Christ told us is there, but few there be that find it. That's why Ezra in this second Ezra 7 tells us about the path that's leading towards the kingdom. He said on the left is fire, on the right is water, or it could be vice versa. Don't quote me, but you know what I'm talking about. The law of the life, man, that's what singularly is our focus. That's what keeps us unbalanced. See, look at this. Matthew 15, 13 and 14 says, but he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. Blind meaning what? They're in the dark. They're not operating in the light of the commandment. They're not operating in the light of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding based upon the fear of the Lord and the faith of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. They're operating blindly and in dark. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch, meaning what? They're going to fall into the ditch of judgment, death, torment, and destruction. Jumping back over to Luke 11, it says, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body is full of light. So utilizing this as a parable of understanding regarding what are we focusing in when it comes down to world events and everything that's going on, just know that there's going to be a lot of dark, distractionary things that's going to try to take our people away. You get jakes out here getting twisted in doctrine. They're not paying attention and seeing really what and how close we are towards the unveiling, the undeniable unveiling of the end. You're worried about doctrinal things. You're worried about personal discourse and issues. You're worried about money, worried about, intaking too much folly on YouTube and Instagram and everything else, and you're falling out. Because the eye didn't stay single in the light that we should be focusing in on. See, it says, but when thine eye is evil, see, when wickedness, evil, comes into play. Idolatry, backbiting, wickedness, adultery, fornication, so forth and so on. When the eyes entertain them things, when we get distracted and we get to following out there and looking at things in the dark, what ends up happening? That body also is full of darkness. And then what ends up happening? Blind leaders of the blind, falling in the ditch, death, destruction, so forth and so on, man. Denying of the faith, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, all of that. See? That's what ends up happening. So when we're seeing what's going on with Trump and everything else, just know that, man. This is just distractionary. You got people out here thinking like this is going to change the world, everything. No, it's not. But the media is capitalizing on this so they can try to transition into people having their mind frames change. See, he's a felon now. Oh, see, he's guilty. So what? America, it's beyond politics. Nobody give a damn about Trump in the first place. All of them are corrupt. Slow Biden got coke, weed, a vicious damn dog that done bit up all kind of people in the White House alone. We ain't even talking about the pedo, accusation that's going on with him. We seen last week with his daughter even brought out in the damn journals, her diary talking about her showering with her dad was inappropriate, and she was hypersexualized as a youth and all of that. We ain't talking about the crackhead son, gun cases, and illegal business deals. I mean, come on, they all wicked. So why would any of us be sitting back worried about what's going on in politics, talking about maybe this might be the one that changes things? You ain't doing nothing, man, but flipping the coin and looking at the same damn devil, man. So let's not get caught up in the distractions of what they're trying to throw out there. Look and see what they're doing behind, like we've been looking at with the things, the elements of the war. What are they doing with the food supplies? What are they doing with the ushering in of the beast system? Secured with the mark and everything else. Right? That's what they're pushing in on. Worry about how they're getting ready to try to start restricting the speech of brothers and not being able to prophesy the truth anymore. Worry about like in Canada, where they're talking about, man, you can get a life sentence for reading from the Bible and them classifying it as hate speech. Worry about what they have with the proposed proposition with the anti-semantics or the what we call them, anti-no rhythms, anti-semi-rhythms. With them talking about what you can and can't say against them, that being fined and punishable. You dig what I'm saying? Like they're ushering all these other little laws, man, that's going to affect us on the daily. And we worried about what's going to happen to him. Man, that dude just made $54 million, man, overnight. Don't nobody give a damn about what happened with him. Overnight from that campaign. Oh, this one say 34. No, see how they be like? This one say 34.8. Trump says he got 53 million. So you name it. It must be going up. Because this one says, this is 23 hours ago. Trump campaign donor website crashes. Ain't nobody crying no damn tears for him, man. This dude has made a hell of a lot of money over this. You feel me? So nobody give a damn about what happened with him, man. Look at this. Breaking news. The staggering amount of money Donald Trump has raised since he was found guilty of all 34 counts, fundraising records shattered in less than 24 hours. The people's verdict. So the people is like, man, ain't nothing changed. That helped his clout even more. So he ain't going nowhere, man. So let's move on. The only thing I want to see for entertainment purposes only is the debate between him and Slow Biden. That should be funny. See, and look how they already stacking the cards. CNN will buck tradition. Oh, so they're changing tradition. See, Slow Biden called him out. Trump been calling him out for a debate for the longest. Slow Biden finally, pops out and says, "All right, well, it's on. Let's make it happen." But Slow Biden's gonna need a break. This is supposed to be a 2-hour debate. Slow Biden said, "Man, can we get commercials in there? Man, I need a break." He might need to re-up on the Adderall. He might need to take a couple more bumps of the Coke, to get him amped up. CNN will buck tradition and put commercial breaks in the Biden-Trump presidential debate. With debates, man, it's commercial free. Slow Biden puts a caveat in there, tells them, "I need a break." So now they're gonna put commercials in the debate, man. If this ain't cracked up to be some setup, man, it's ridiculous. Trump go out there, this dude be out there campaign. He was in New York with that damn Bronx rally 2-3 hours. Had some damn rappers up there talking about he want gold teeth. I mean, that's just another slap in the face of Jace. Jace has some gold teeth or diamond teeth or something. He talking about, "Yeah, I like your teeth. I need to get some." Damn well he don't care about no damn Jakes. But anything to try to pacify the niggas out there, man. Anything to pacify the damn spics out there, man. We'll give you what you want. Tell you what you want to hear. That's exactly right, Coab. They're gonna sit down Slow Biden, man. They're gonna give him an IV or some damn heroin or something, man. Get him hopped up, took a couple bumps of the Coke. Get him out there, man. Trump probably take a little shot of B vitamins in his ass or something. Who knows? I think the break is more for Slow Biden, man, because he'd be dozing off. They just had him at the they just caught that fool at the damn Memorial Day commemoration, falling asleep. Just busted him sleep again. So he definitely needs a break to get hyped up again. This is crazy. But let's move on, man. Claudia Sheinbaum is likely to be Mexico's next president. Who is she? Well, if Mexico isn't already in complete turmoil, man, they figure, hey, man, the solution is man elect a woman. She's leading the elections to be the first woman to be president of Mexico. We've seen all hell breaking loose down there, man, with all the damn assassinations and everything going down over there. And now I'm starting to wonder who's carrying out these assassinations? Who's trying to pave the way for this woman to be the next president? Does Sheinbaum sound like a Spanish last name? No, yeah, you're right. She's not. He said it changed his diapers. That's quite possible too. Sheinbaum, 61, is poised to make history as Mexico's first female president and first Jewish head of state. Oh, so look who's invaded Mexico. Another small hat. Remember, they're putting in political leaders for coups and puppets. And she's a liberal, She's going to be pushing the Great Reset and the liberal agenda and all that other stuff. But notice she's a small hat. Yeah, so what? She was born in Mexico. So what? She can speak Spanish fluently and she thinks she's a woman of the people. Bottom line is, she ain't one of them. She's not one of them. And that's another thing too, man. You got to be careful, man. Mexico got a strong population of Edomites down there. Spaniards then did a whole nice little remix. And they down there. Look at this. Early life. Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo was born to a secular Jewish family in Mexico City. Her paternal Ashkenazi grandparents immigrated from Lithuania to Mexico City in the 1920s. So they've been down there since the 20s. From Lithuania. She is not a so-called Mexican. While her maternal Sephardic grandparents immigrated from the Plovdiv, Bulgaria in the early 1940s to escape them. How much it cost? Imagine that. Pure Ashkenazi, pure Khazarian background from her father's side, And then she's claiming Sephardic from Bulgaria on her mother's side. She celebrated all the Jewish holidays at her grandparents' homes. Isn't that nice? So you can already see, man. And that's why I say they go over there, man. They change their names, become new residents and citizens, and blend themselves in. Remember, that's why the Most High said, man, Esau not gonna be able to hide itself in these last days. Her father's name is Carlos Scheinbaum Yeselovich. That's really her name, Yeselovich Scheinbaum. But that's who's getting ready to invade and take over, Mexico. Now, mind you, if she gets elected and they saying she's at the head of the class, if our people was in the law and you knew what was good for you, we'd be abiding by this, man. Deuteronomy 17, 14, 15. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, a king, not a queen. Hello? Like as all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him, not her, king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren. She got 2 strikes on her. Shalt thou set king over thee, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, not sister. 3rd strike, she's out. Only if our people would just follow the law, man, we wouldn't have these issues. It wouldn't be so confused. And they're just so desperate for change down there, man. Meanwhile, best believe she's got the backing of the mother harlots, man. Because she's pushing the liberal agendas that they want. They're going to set all them people up down there, man, to ride along the backs of the damn mother harlots and the beast system. They're going to be jacked up. And it would only set the precedence to try to, create more change in the earth to elect her. Why not? Jeremiah 31 tells us that. Verse 22, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So she shall compass, go around and lead and be in front of the man. So par for the course, man. She very well, don't be surprised she get elected. Don't be surprised she get elected, right? But remember what they do to the Jewish embassy over there. They just firebombed it. So there's already a contingency of people down there who's probably going to be against her. So we'll see what happens with that. 22 dead, dozens injured. Suspected tornadoes leave a trail of destruction across the South. Again, this is just going along with the scenario. This is different than the hurricanes that have been hitting down there in Mexico and Texas. This is continuing. Every week, it's been more destruction. Tornadoes, powerful thunderstorms tore a path of destruction across Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas over the weekend, causing at least 22 fatalities, including children. This was just last weekend after last weekend's DSTF. Most I hit with another one. This got updated on the 28th. So this just got updated on Tuesday. So the destruction and the storms and the tempests of the Lord continue on this place. Look at this. This is in Mexico. Hailstorm. May 24th and 25th in Mexico. Snow and hailstorms. I mean, if things ain't upside down, man, I don't know what to tell you. Power outages. Driving in the water.
Aguántame, déjame. Quiero agarrar un poquito de la nieve. Ay, ya no pude.
A powerful storm system hit the state of Puebla, about 80 kilometers east of Mexico City, causing significant damage.
This might be the wrath of the Most High for them trying to put an I mean, well, we'll put a little small hat over there. Who knows? But I'm not gonna play this whole thing. It's 8 minutes. But you see here how the Most High's wrath is moving. Mexico, they got hit with that last weekend with the winds in that campaign, and the sign blew down. People died over there. Now they're getting hit with the hail and the snow, flooding. They better get right down there, right? Now, just the compound going back at the disillusionment that they're throwing out there regarding the migration situation. Just some facts, because that's another distraction, and that's another thing that they're utilizing to create insurrection amongst our people. Now, don't get me wrong. Is the Northern Kingdom definitely part of the number? For sure. Are they the ones being implemented and pushed into the hoods and utilized as the face cards to drain all the resources and create enmity with amongst the tribes? Absolutely. Where are these other nations getting secure and comfort from where they're not being the ones plastered on the TV every minute as the ones who's doing all the invading and soaking up the resources? Where are they placing these people at? See, look at it. Shocking new border statistics reveal the surprising countries migrants are flocking to the U.S. from. San Diego border sees migrants from over 170 countries. High number of Chinese migrants arriving in Southern California. Let me read that again. High number of Chinese migrants. Shocking new border statistics have revealed the surprising country spawning an influx of migrants to the U.S., while Chinese migrants continue to dominate the list. No, but they're telling you, no, they come from Mexico. They're all from Ecuador. They come from Venezuela. They come from Haiti. They come from West Africa. They're the ones in here that's destroying and killing the country. And now you see Jakes in Chicago, New York, and everywhere. Philly talking about how they're ready to go to war with the so-called migrants because of them getting preferential treatment, which is a device used to create division. Remember, the Most High said that he hates one that sows discord. Well, the so-called white man is perfect at doing that. He knows how to divide and conquer. He knows united we stand, divided we fall, just like we got to reading about his own fate with a house being divided against itself. He knows to weaponize that. He's getting them over here. They're getting ready to, legalize them to vote and to serve in the military and everything else. Drain out the resources so that there's nothing left for Jake that's already over here. What's that going to create? Infighting between us, and it's going down. Meanwhile, the ones that they're in league with, according to Psalms 83, one of the house of Moab, and I've shown y'all from the book of Judith and Jeremiah and all that, Esau and Moab and Ammon always been riding together since the biblical times. So who's the doors being open to? China. They're the biggest ones coming over here, but we don't hear about that. See, that's what I'm saying. If that eye be full of light, if we're paying attention to seeing really what's going on and not looking at the dark, turning on each other, we'll be better off. We'll see what the plan is. But here they see Chinese migrants continue to dominate the list. Thousands are also pouring in from India, Vietnam, Turkey, Uzbekistan, and the West African nation of Mauritania. About 62% of all Chinese migrants arriving at America's borders are entering the country through San Diego. Look at the numbers. 48,501 are from China, 8,900 from India, 7,800 from Turkey. The list goes on and on. You don't see no Central America, no Mexico, no nothing. And where are these? You don't see them plastered on these streets in New York. You don't see them on the streets out here in LA. These ain't the ones who are being plastered on the TV, being shown at the high school gyms, taking over, laid out on the streets, all in New York and in Texas and so forth and so on. Where are they housing all these people at? Where are they hiding them at? What benefits of it? That's what I'm wondering. The real ones is over here that they hide them out, man. They acclimating them directly into the system. And then the other ones, us, they're sitting back here exploiting and destroying. The devil is slick, man. Let's move on from that. Alarm bells Vole fever that can trigger Ebola-like bleeding virus to spread in parts of Europe. So got to get ready for the next virus scare. Is it going to be the Ebola breakout? Is it going to be the bird flu? Again, he's got the Center for Disease Control. He's in control of the diseases. Whatever he decides to utilize to create world panic, when things get too out of control, once they start seeing more protests, more issues jump off, when all of these world elections that's going on cause more issues, World War III jumps off, they're going to need to consolidate everybody so they can get everybody into a beast system. Get everybody logged in and cooperating. That's how they're going to be able to separate friend to foe. World War jumps off, man. They're going to need to identify everybody. Need your world ID. Are you a friend or a foe? Ask the Japanese during World War II. What did they do? They threw them in concentration camps, or they call them internment camps. And they said, man, we're at war with Japan right now. We don't know if you on our side or not. You're going to have to dwell in these camps. And then when the war is over, we'll let you go, give you $25 and get you a train ticket, man. You get on your way. We'll give you reparations later. Same thing gonna jump off. World War III jumps off, man. You got your world ID. We need to see if you're a friend or foe. Are you part of the system? You with us or not? Yeah, that happens. Naquab, a couple other people told me that too. That YouTube censor the comments, man. They'll shut you down. There's just another way to control system, man. That's just what they do. It's ridiculous. But we see here another plague on the way, spreading in Europe, an Ebola-like bleeding virus called Vole fever. So we don't know what they're going to unleash. Got to stay in the spirit, man. Thailand aims to become the first Southeast Asian BRICS member. So we're seeing another nation breaking free from America and the dollar, only leading towards the end and the collapse of America's dominance. Economic warfare is underway. And America ain't going to like that. You keep trying to lead a hoe, man, to go find you another pimp. Oh, they're going to go to war on these streets. Especially if you were, what they call it? A bottom, BITCH. That's the one who makes all the money, the veteran huh? You got long-lasting relationships with America. You're going to leave to go somebody. Oh, it's going to be a problem. But we're seeing people are divesting away from America. Nations are divesting away from America. The BRICS is trying to, establish themselves to be the next leading economic power on the earth. That's going to lead not only from economic warfare, but to literal warfare. So the stage is set on a number of different facets. It can be no question whether or not World War III is going to crack off. It's just going to be what's going to be the thing that initiates it full blown. North Korea is down there launching nukes and launching missiles out there, testing the waters with Japan and testing the waters with South Korea, both of which are relying upon America's help. We just got to see about and continue to see about Ukraine and Russia. We're seeing what's going on with China and Taiwan. We see what's happening with Israel and Palestine. It's going down one way or the other. You see all these other nations are separating themselves economically from America. America's not feeling it. This is where we at. Economics. Look, Stop and Shop supermarket chain sparks fears of mass closures as difficult decisions hinted at by bosses. Now, we don't have Stop and Shops out here, but there's definitely closures of a number of different stores out here and throughout the country. Stop and Shop 400 stores will close, underperforming outlets. The Massachusetts-based company has almost 400 stores in 5 states, with New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island as well. The store closures were announced during its parent company, Adhal Dahazi's Strategy Day last week, where a 4-year plan for its brand was outlined. So now we're seeing CVS's are closing. Stop and Shop supermarkets and other supermarkets are closing up. Walmarts are closing up, which is what going to make scarcity. We're already living in food deserts in the hoods. So now Jake gonna have to travel even further out to get food and resources. You're gonna have to pay more because we're already dealing with inflationary costs. But because now everybody has to go to these other places, people going to have to start increasing their prices because now the goods is going to be even more scarce because everybody's shopping. I'm starting to see Edomites shopping in the hood stores, Food for Lessers and all of that. It's like, what you doing here? Oh, the Trader Joe's and that Whole Foods a little bit too much, huh? You gonna have to come on over here and get second best. I've seen them. They migrate now, and there's been stores that there's been articles too, man, where they talking about the rich is now shopping at Walmart. Remember, Walmart used to be the hood store. See, look at it. High-income shoppers seem to be becoming increasingly loyal to Walmart. Sky-high inflation drives America's wealthy families to Walmart. You know, that used to be where Jake go to all the time. Target, Costco, and Walmart. So it's hitting everybody. And meanwhile, they out here closing the damn Walmarts. You know, Jake love him some Walmarts. You feel me? So here we go. Fiji water recalls 1.9 million bottles of water over manganese and bacterial contamination, one of the highest graded waters out there. And these were sold over Amazon. 78,000 cases of Fiji water sold on Amazon were recalled. So FYI, anybody out there that's, ordered your water, you got that Amazon Fresh where they deliver your, groceries to you, or you order it online, they deliver it to you. If you recently bought some Fiji water this month, they announced it on May 23rd. If you bought it before that, and you might want to get rid of it or find out if your case is recalled, because Lord knows you don't want to be having no damn bacterial contamination and you got some issues going on in your intestinal. So now the water is contaminated, which is supposed to be the best highest grade water, cost you $3 a bottle and all that other stuff, man. Even that's jacked up now. So imagine what we're dealing with here. Just wanted to drop that on y'all, man, for the Fiji water drinkers, man. If you ordered some off of Amazon, it's probably contaminated. So I'm just giving y'all the heads up if you had it. Outside of that, Winco. Man, Winco, they ain't on Winco's local to me, man. I think they're only in Long Beach or Cerritos or somewhere like that. I've heard of them out there. I've never been. I'm about to find out. Where's the one that you go to? Karatazai. Man, I'm not finna go to Lancaster. Lancaster's an hour and some change away, hour and a half away. But I know there's a Winco somewhere out here. I forgot. Somebody told me it's in Cerritos or somewhere. I can't remember. But if you remember, drop it in the comments, man. On South and Paramount in Long Beach. Okay. Long Beach. South and Paramount. I'm about to look that up. Long Beach is a little closer. Yeah, Con. I know it's a grocery store. Oh, yeah, Con. Yeah, it's a grocery store. It's similar to like a what's it like? It's like a Walmart / Costco type situation. Long Beach. Yeah, that's where I was hearing. Now, Long Beach is a little closer. I can get to Long Beach over there, or we can get over there in 25 minutes or something. It's like a Costco. Employees on it? I didn't know that. It's 24/7 too? Winco over here. Hold on, man. We're giving Winco too much advertising, man. Hold on. They're not a sponsor. I need to get paid for Winco advertisements. No, I'm just tripping. But okay. That's why we network, man. Anybody looking for Winco, man. If you're in the LA area, Long Beach area, Do you need a membership? Or is it open to the public? Need a membership? Let me know. There's 2 in Lakewood and no membership. Just for experimental purposes, man, for research purposes, I'm gonna have to go check them out. And it's 24/7. Yeah, I'd rather go in there, man, because Costco, man, just be damn too claustrophobic. It be too many damn people in Costco. I got a Sam's Club. I like Sam's Club because even though I talk about it, but I'm trapped in it too. They got your own. You can check yourself out. You can scan all your products, pay for it, and go to the checkout line. You ain't got to wait in line for it. Gift and a curse, man. Gift and a curse. These damn bastards got us locked into. But yeah, I'm about to go check that out. Check out Winco. Well, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White House side, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down. The water for everybody's contributions and adding on, man, and locking in for another episode of DSTM. Again, at 4 o'clock Pacific time, we'll be closing out our Shabbat class. I'll be doing my part 2 on Daniel 7, finishing that up. Lord's will. Most High willing, man, if y'all still need that understanding, want to continue on with that, lock in a couple more hours. I'll be back on and we'll get to it. All right. But other than that, man, prayerfully y'all have a blessed rest of your Sabbath. And Lord willing, I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, Shalom.